Yeah. Hey, 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 here's the wake up call. Ooh, ooh, with Reverend Horace Sheffield. Rise up, wake up. Let the truth be told. The wake up call. Hey, 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 it's the wake up call. Ooh, with Reverend Horace Sheffield. Rise up, wake up, wake up. Let the truth be told. The wake up call. Reverend Horace Sheffield. Rise up, wake up.
All right, we're live and living. I got to fade, man. It's not a haircut. I got you. Got just faded down. It used to be a third-class licensed FCC radio DJ. I don't know what that is. Boom. Anyway, glad to have everybody here this morning. Let's give it up for our audience today. We got a big feedback going on, man. Hello. Hello. All right, we got to get that feedback. All right, anyway, got a great show for you today. Let me introduce my co-host. Chantel is back in here with us.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Back by popular demand.
Yes.
Some people don't like the other universe. They don't like the planetary positioning of certain folks. So we're glad to have somebody who's on Earth with us again.
Hey, y'all.
And Ed somehow or another has finagled his way into being a constant co-host. He doesn't rotate at all.
No, we don't.
That's because he did a lot of rotating in his earlier life.
Well, you know you got to have a player on the scene at all times.
Yeah, you're not too old. You too old to be a player. Right now, you the played with.
Well, that'll work too.
You ain't the player. You the played with.
That'll work too.
Yeah, you get played to get laid. Hello, somebody. Yeah, it's the roll, the dollar roll. Anyway, I just want to take a moment, by the way. This past Tuesday night, Dr. William Reveille, our longest serving president of Dabo, passed. I know you knew.
Yeah, he was a good man.
Reverend William Reveille. The funeral's on June the 5th at Pleasant Grove Baptist Church. Unfortunately, I'm preaching a commencement ceremony in Austin, Texas, and receiving an honorary doctorate degree, but we will be well represented. You know, Dr. Reveille was my ride or die guy.
Exactly.
When I went through a hostile takeover, when my dad died, people don't know that. I got locked out of this building. The very person that my dad hired as a secretary and some other folks, and I went and met down at TULC the next day. But while my dad went before his funeral, and basically they voted to put everybody out, and of course, Reveille became the president in 1995, the longest serving president of the Detroit Association of Black Organizations. So, former pastor of Messiah Baptist Church, Holy Hope Heritage Church, which meets in this building. So we just want to give kudos to him, a professor at Howard University. I go on and on and on. You remember him well, don't you?
Oh, I know him well. Yeah, you introduced me to him. He's been a great supporter of mine.
Yeah.
The whole time, and I really appreciate him. And God bless him. Rest in peace.
Yeah. You know, we're getting up there.
Yes.
And if I'll be 72 in December, so
Amen.
I know I have fewer days than I've had.
I'll be 64. Can you believe that?
Well, you're still young, son. 64. The bottom line is that we're not going to be here forever, and that we ought to make the best of the days that we have, because no one knows if this will be our last day or not.
Amen.
I want to give a shout out to all the mothers in the house. Where my mothers at?
Woo!
Hey.
All right, where my real mothers?
Yes. I'm a real mother.
I know you're a real mother. I know you're a real mother. I can tell by the bra size.
Oh my God.
And here, okay, so look, we're gonna have a great show today. Just really want to take a moment again, by the way, to say Happy Mother's Day to all of our mothers. I've got a special speaker tomorrow at my church, Aaliyah Beeman, all the way from Texas. And now, is the young lady there? Is she going to put up my flyers? Let's go through my flyers. This is today, but it's sold out. We actually raised a nice piece of money for the Cass Tech Harp and Vocal Program, which is 100 years old. And I'm presenting checks today to the Triangle Society that represents doing some things at Cass. But this is sold out. We're really glad to have Monique Ella Rose. Next. Go ahead. This is your project.
Yes, the Motor City Makeover. We're working with Detroit and the Rise Hire. Antia, who is Rev's goddaughter, brought this over. She's been working with this city. It's on May 30th. That's a Saturday, right after the show. So if you're here for the show, bring your clothes so you can help us plant and clean up. We'll be doing it from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. We'll be meeting at the New Destiny right here at 12000 Grand River. So if you're at the wake up call on May 30th, just walk right over with us and we'll start volunteering.
And we're making over the neighborhood. Don't put your nails in here in this.
Yes.
Next. Oh, that's past. Come on, keep going. That was a great show, Christopher Williams. Now, Donnell Rollins will be here with Alicia Bridges out of Atlanta, Georgia. So that's going to be a great show. Go to Event Noir. We're going to be changing, by the way, how we get access to these events. But next. All right, this is on PBS. It's called White with Fear. This is an award-winning filmmaker, Andrew Goldberg. I'm actually in here several times. I filmed it in New York. For whatever reason, PBS in Detroit did not air it on its main platform. PBS has been decimated by talking about white fear. How about orange decimation? Be a better word. But we're gonna have a premiere, red carpet. Hold on, he's coming. Andrew will be here. We'll have a Q&A, and you want to come see that and see how I tore some of these white bigots apart.
Amen.
Amen. Yeah, they talking about we took something that they stole. How about that? Next. All right. Now we got the Detroit Talent Showcase. We're really excited about this. Every month we'll have a talent showcase, and the top winner after 3 months will be in a quarterfinal. At the end of the year, there'll be finalists, but every quarterfinal winner will get $2,500. There are other prizes. It's going to be aired on WADL. I've got people coming in from across the country to host this. There'll be a great entertainer every time. So you want to sign up to be on here, Mark. You need to be on here. You need to, we have a category called fools. Just go ahead and scan that. You could be the biggest fool and win. Next.
Ain't no
all right,
fool.
now this I'm really excited about. Earth, and that you got the wrong flyer. I sent the correct flyer. It's the 22nd. So we'll just know that this is the wrong flyer. I sent the flyer with the QR code and everything else. I'll resend it, but it's July 22nd. You've got to sign up with Big Heart. Tell them real quick about the Big Heart, and then I'll send them the right flyer, and then we're going to get ready for sports.
Yep, you guys can download the Big Heart app. It's in your app store. It's either in your Google Play or your Apple store, your Apple App Store. And you download the Big Heart app, and you look for your community, and you look for Dabo, and Dabo will come right up.
I sent this to you this morning at 7:01, Lakia. So it's the one with the QR code and July 22nd. We want to put those back up during the breaks. You want to scan this because you do want to come see Earthquake, and this is a health app that we're partnering with Corewell Health. All right. Detroit basket. Oh, one more. And Zima. We'll get back. Yeah. So I am excited about the Detroit Pistons.
Yes.
They put us on pins and needles for a moment in the last series. We didn't know whether or not they were going to make it through. But before I do that, I want you to introduce your new host. And I'll introduce. Go ahead. I want to talk about Brother Washington because I know his daddy well.
Well, Sports on the Mark, we got Reggie Walker.
Reggie Walker. Don't say old.
Old. I mean that because I've been friends with him since the second grade. We both got thrown out of class.
Y'all played ball together.
He got thrown out of class. I got thrown out of class. And I said, hey, what's your name? He said, Reggie. I said, I'm Mark. And we've been friends ever since.
So y'all got in trouble together.
Not together, but separately.
They were sitting in the office at the same time.
I was a talker, and he was a talker too.
And this gentleman here is who?
Sam Washington.
The famous, right.
Yeah, St. Cecilia.
I knew his dad well. Sam, I think I've told you this before. I played for Shea Bowl. Joe Strada's team, and Earl Chicken was on that team. Willie James was on that team, and I was still in college. I would play in the summer. I was playing at Saginaw Valley State. So, I mean, the great legacy and work of your dad at St. Cecilia should be forever memorialized. And let's just give Sam Washington Sr. a big hand. Yeah.
In your neighborhood, right around the block.
Man, what you talking about? St.
right.
Cecilia was the spot, man. I was with Earl Curitan probably 3 or 4 days before he passed. He came down to one mic. We had an event there. Anyway, I taught at Finney when Earl was a student. And that's something, yeah.
that is.
Mr. French was his coach, and I was teaching English 1974 or 5 at Finney. Anyway, let's get right to it, man.
Pistons, man. The Pistons.
Yeah. How come we don't have their picture with you?
I don't know.
You better add it, man. You gonna invite me to be on your program and don't have my picture.
All right.
All right, go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, the Pistons, man. They battled through adversity with Orlando, beat them in 7 games. It was a barn burner, and I don't know if they would have won if.
I think most people thought that they were through.
I did.
Did you think that, Sam?
Yeah, I did too.
Move your mic a little closer. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I thought they were through. It looked.
He didn't. He called me and
Hey.
said, "Man, they gonna win it."
Hey, let's rewind back a few shows because I'm one of the ones that said the Pistons were going to go through.
You said they're gonna win.
Yeah,
Oh, so you claiming all the credit now?
I'm not claiming the credit, but I've been riding
Okay,
with
let's
them.
do that. What was it about? And I'm gonna pass it to these two. What was it about that last series with the Hornets that made it so difficult for them?
Matchup.
They match up and they play good defense.
Yeah.
And they made the Pistons.
Expound, man.
Well,
He did bring some co-hosts with him.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what, and Mr. Washington over here can probably expound on this a little bit better. I thought that front line of Orlando, incredibly long, incredibly athletic. They packed the paint, and what they were able to do was neutralize Durant. I mean, he hasn't been the same player in this playoff series.
Who has it been?
Jalen.
Yeah,
Jalen Durant.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's some hope and talk about him doing better in this series, but I haven't seen that quite yet either.
Yeah, I think here's what this Pistons team is. It's not a very talented team outside of Cade Cunningham, from my perspective. But the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. You guys have heard that. This applies to this team probably more so than any other NBA team that I've seen in my lifetime.
Well, I think they're a bunch of role players. I wouldn't say they're not talented. They are talented.
As compared to other teams in the league,
But they play well together.
The
They
whole
fit.
is greater than the
he's
sum of
saying
its
the
parts.
same
Yeah.
thing.
But they're not talented.
Sam, let's get Sam's point of view here.
Well, you're right. They Cade is the man,
Right.
okay, and they've surrounded him with a lot of role players. Any given night, somebody else will step up and come to the rescue.
What's the other guy's name that plays for it?
Tobias.
Tobias. He's a good player.
Tobias,
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's still a role player. Where would he be on another team? He may not even be the number 2 guy.
Okay,
Like-
listen, I am not going to let anybody, you three, come in here and throw shade on my Pistons.
Nobody's throwing shade.
Look here.
You
They're
don't
doing
sound
good.
very excited. You sound
I'm-
like they lucky to be there.
I'm not saying
They
that.
had the best record in the
Hey,
NBA.
I'm
But they
the
are
one
lucky
saying
to
they
be
got
there.
talent.
You said they are lucky.
They
to be
are lucky to be there. 'Cause
No.
In all reality, they should have been beat.
Okay.
Hey,
by
That
who?
Orlando series,
Oh
they
yeah.
should have
But, I
been
mean
taken out.
that was I couldn't. I mean, I don't know how you lose that series.
I don't know why you guys won't let me get a word in there.
Go ahead, Ed.
Well,
Then
I'm gonna take
Chantel.
you back in history. Remember Chicago and Michael Jordan scoring 40 points a game and they couldn't win?
Right.
Same thing happened with the Pistons. They rolled too hard on Cade Cunningham for all the scoring instead of committing to being part of the scoring. Once they balanced out their offense and
You
their
mean
whole
you mean before this season? or
no,
when?
before the series
Right.
or in Orlando, when they depended on Cade to score 30, 40, they lost.
Listen,
Now, when he come down a little under 30, and the rest of the team came up scoring, they started winning. Now, you explain that one to me.
I don't know.
See, they got
you
balance-
had to explain the
balance-
explanation first of all.
Balanced scoring will always win.
I hear you. I hear you.
Hey.
Taking a girl out to dinner before you go home. will always
Orlando
get you a treat.
Orlando was not the same team without Wagner. And when he got hurt, I said, oh, they got a chance.
Right.
I still thought it was a slim chance, but they came through. They won 3 games in a row, and that was great.
I mean, they play good ball, man.
They do.
They play good ball. They looked actually better than the Pistons looked in terms of talent even.
Well, you talking about 3 games. They're at 5 games in a row.
Chantel, what would you like to ask rather?
Go Sports.
No, you got to do better than that.
I like the Pistons.
Do
Go,
you?
Go Sports.
And you had a chance to
I'm
go to a
excited.
game?
Yes, my father-in-law took me and my son and
No, wait a minute. You ain't married yet.
Okay.
I'm father-in-law till you get to be father-in-law. But
Okay,
yeah, she took her little son, my little granddaddy.
How he your grandbaby, but you not my
Yeah, there you go.
father-in-law.
All right, go ahead. Yes, sir.
Yes, I'd like to make a comment that I was one of the ones.
Okay.
My name is Marcus, quite obviously. And I'd like to make the comment to Reg. I agree, and it's hard for me to say I agree with Mark, but I agree with Mark that the Pistons, they're not, if you look at San Antonio, you look at everybody else's lineup, talent-wise, they don't, but they play together.
Yep.
And you made a good point, Ed, in that when Cade is scoring over 30, they lose. When they're 20, like I think game 2 had 25, but the big one was Duncan Robinson. If he's hitting 3-pointers and they're hitting
That's the
3-pointers,
difference.
Yeah, he's been hitting some.
if he hits
Well,
3-pointers,
I think overall, and I'm not as wise as these guys, but I am a follower. I think the problem that the Pistons have is when they're not shooting at a high percentage. That's when they have trouble.
Well, the X factor
Yeah,
is Jenkins.
when they're off.
yes, Dennis Jenkins.
The Pistons have to be
coming through.
they have to be able to run.
Right.
If you put them in a half-court offensive scheme,
they're not
they're
that great.
not that good
Yeah.
because then the talent shows. But they like to run. They got horses, man.
And how do they run? With their defense.
With their defense and rebounding.
If they're playing defense and blocking shots and
Okay, so while we have you, let's just not spoof this series, and sometimes you get ahead of yourself, right? You're thinking about honeymoon night and she hasn't said I do. They win this series, which in all likelihood they should. How do they match up against apparently the Knicks?
Go ahead, Sam.
Well, during the regular season, they had the Knicks in their back pocket. I don't think any of the games
That happened last
were
year
close.
too, but then the Knicks whipped them.
But you know what? The Knicks learned a lesson.
Right.
In Detroit.
Right.
They became very physical. That's how they were able to carry on. But this year is different. This year is different. Actually, the Knicks are very afraid of Detroit
Right.
because of the way they beat them during the regular season.
Right.
And it's going.
But you made a valid point. I watched that game. That was a physical game. Even though they won, I mean, it was a lot of banging in that game. What you think?
I think I agree that I won't say they won't have a problem with New York, but if you go by the regular season, they beat them handily with the same lineup. They haven't made any changes or anything. And actually, New York has had an easy go of the playoffs. Reg, come on, Atlanta.
Yeah. Well, see, that doesn't impress me because if I whip you enough next time, you bring a gun. So I mean, I'm motivated to beat you next time, Reggie.
You know what? And Marcus spoke of it. The Detroit Pistons' frenetic defense allows them to be able to get a lot of points in transition. But I think more so than anything, it's about Cade Cunningham and the person that he is. They're able to play defense the way that they are because this is a really youthful team. You know what? But the only thing that I'm concerned about is that when I look at Duran in this particular series, he doesn't look very athletic compared to a lot of front lines out there. It doesn't seem like he can jump high. It doesn't seem like that big body he's using it to block people out. The good thing about it is, regardless of what happens, Duran won't get max money, which will allow this Pistons team to be able to sign some other people.
You know what else about Duran? He's only 6'10".
Only.
They got centers now that are 7'2", 7'2", 7'5", 7'3",
But he's
7'6", 7'6".
He's a big boy. He's a big boy.
But that height, you play basketball with height, man. And
I saw 2 instances yesterday when someone was a little shorter than him that went over him and got rebounds.
Shit,
I mean, from behind him. You know what I'm saying? That I was 6'4.5", 6'5.5". Anybody coming over my back, period. You know, I mean, and I don't know. This gets to another question because I thought yesterday's game that they just looked like they weren't motivated. It looked like something was missing. Kay didn't play with great energy. Am I missing something or no? Or do you just think that maybe they had a lull because they had to come back so far and fast before?
Yeah, sometimes you just got to get started.
Sometimes you did it all night, so you can't do it all night the next night.
Well,
Is that what it is?
but I
What?
think the other part about it is, Cade's focus is let's make sure we get everybody else involved in this
there
game.
There you go. That's
right?
what I'm saying.
And if you can't, then you know what? I'll take over the game. It's
So
not a
you said
problem.
that was a masterful plan.
No, I think that's the
I
plan
think
that
he had,
Christians
what do you
have
have?
every
Seven,
game.
do you have 7 points at the half? Something like
Something
that.
like
It was
that.
And
four.
how much you
I
end
know
up with?
something. It was
25.
It was
I
4
rest
points.
my case.
How much you ended up with? 25?
25.
Yeah.
25.
See,
He's a closer.
Yeah.
He's a closer. That's something that
All
you
right, man.
need.
We thank you. You need to get a contract with Mark so we can, have you on Sports with the Mark. You need to sign him up, Mark. We're working on this video board that I told you about. So what we're going to really do is have people, and I'm hiring people. They can go out and do interviews. Like you can interview people in the streets. You can maybe we'll get Mark. Gerald's working on press passes for our network, Detroit Community Network.
That's great.
Our news and our views, and we'll be able to get in some of these things. Let's talk about the Tigers, man. The Tigers are decimated injury-wise, aren't they?
14 people are on the injured list.
Wow.
Wow.
Scooble's out for 3 months, and that's now we know why he asked to be taken out of the game last year. That's what I think, and we also know why he didn't play in that World Series, that national or international game that they had.
Mm-hmm.
He was hurt, and it's going to hurt his money. The Tigers did the right thing by not paying him what he wanted, and it's going to help him in the long run. But they got 14 injuries, and I want to say one thing. And Marcus, this is what I want to say. I said 2 things. First, and we'll get.
Well, you asked Mark. You want Marcus to co-sign that you said it before? Or something?
Yeah.
Y'all got this thing going. I said this 2 weeks ago. Go ahead, Mark. Let me throw you off.
Mechanical is the best player on the Tigers team. He's batting over almost 300, 293. He was over 300 a few weeks ago. He is going to be the linchpin. They'll be all right. They got to get through this storm. And
Where are they sitting standing wise? I haven't paid attention.
They're 2 games under 500 now.
Okay.
And they're second in the division, and they're only like 2 or 3 games out of the first place.
All right, Ed, you have a question? You guys want Ed, Sam, you want? Yeah.
I think right now the Tiger team basically is going to have to tread water for about the next month and a half, 2 months. And if they can play 500 baseball, then you know what? They can be within reach by the end of the season.
Okay. But that's such a brilliant summation. Ed?
well, I believe.
Sound like he really know what he's talking about, doesn't it?
I believe.
I think if I can take her out to dinner and
and this goes with me playing sports for many years. When you're not confident
did you play
about
baseball though?
Yeah, I played some baseball.
Where?
Too. Well, it was elementary school, but I was great.
Well, you know,
I made the all-star team. Well, so but that's beside the point.
Period.
When a team loses its confidence, a lot of players, they come up limping. I'm gonna just say it like that. If you don't feel that you got it together, or the game is over, you start limping.
This early.
By the way, can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
Who was the great baseball player in our class, 71? Cushenberry.
Well, you say George, but
George Cushenberry
he's
in the championship game in 71
knocked it out the park at Tiger Stadium.
At Tiger Stadium.
Okay,
hit a home run out of the park in the 12th grade at Cass Tech.
Yeah.
He in that, but they used to think George and I, they mixed us up sometimes. But anyway, but not until all the time. Anyway, let's get off that subject. I just like that because when I was coming up, it's relevant. When I was coming up, every kid I know loved baseball and played baseball. That's not true anymore.
No,
at all.
No. We used to go up on the playground with the gravel and the
used to play in the alley. We played in the alley.
Right. I busted many a window.
The light pole was first base.
Right.
The sewer was second base.
There you go. LaSalle and Claremont. I remember that alley well.
Yeah. All right. So you want to say something about the Tigers or no?
No,
you already said you made your summation. What do you think about having this new female? What is it? Is it the team that the Illiges just announced?
hockey team.
Hockey team, female hockey team.
I like it. It's another entity to bring people downtown and to take advantage of all the amenities, the bars and all that. I like
I
it.
don't know if I've ever watched female hockey.
Neither have I.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
they be good with the puck though.
Detroit-
they have to be.
Detroit area has two great hockey players. I can't remember their names now, but they played with Mark, played baseball. This one girl, Megan Keller, was the best player on the team. Then she went into hockey and was the best. She's got 2 Olympics gold medals. So I hope she's on the Detroit team because I'd go see her.
Hey, Rev, I got to ask you a quick question.
The question is
Totally unrelated, but somewhat of a salacious nature.
okay.
What is your take on Mike Vrabel and this Diana Rossini thing out here?
Why you gonna put me on the spot, man?
'Cause you're good
You know,
for it, that's
I have vowed to my wife that I was going to clean up some of my conversation. People don't understand that I have this treasure in earthen vessel. I mean, I have fun. I mean, my sense of fun and my sense of comedy may not necessarily comport with some folks, but I mean, what do you want me to? I mean, tell me what you want to know. I mean, in terms of what?
As far as the media spectacle that it's becoming, is it worthwhile?
I mean, look, I think from time to time the media needs stuff to keep itself, relevant. You know what I mean? I mean, if the king mosquito, right, the most heavily hung mosquito, and the what's the name of that major telescope they have up in space that can see?
The Hubble.
If the Hubble telescope noticed that the king mosquito's Peter was 2 inches smaller, it'd be major news. I don't get in all of that. I want to stay germane, I mean, I think one of the things we ought to talk about, you ought to put this together because I don't have the data, is the degree to which all these teams that are doing well are contributing to the bottom line of this city. I mean, all of these teams are back in Detroit now, right?
Right.
And by the way, I met at the music hall this past week because they have a consortium of everything going on in the district. You appreciate this. And they invited me down, actually going to be chairing this whole thing for the music hall with their new building and all that. The problem they have is nobody's coordinating traffic. There's literally no one saying we can't have all this down here at the same time. Has anybody been downtown and you can't get anywhere for an hour and a half trying to go to a venue?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I'm in the meeting and they're aware. Do you know they were planning on closing that exit on Madison exit to the left on 75 where you come up and you're right at the course. They wanted to close that.
No.
How do you do that?
No.
So that's what I think sports on the mark ought to be talking about, is how do we get people downtown for these sporting events and they not miss them
He wants
because they
y'all to
spend all their
organize.
time in their cars.
Amen.
All right. We'll look at that.
I think you should.
It's time to organize, Mark.
All
Call
right,
me.
You're
okay,
the
do
best organizer in the town.
I got you.
That's right.
NCAA expanding to 76 teams for the dance to the waltz or dance to the
It's
finals.
all
What
about the money.
a money grab, right?
They're
That's
going to
right.
play 4 more
All about the
games. What?
It's all about the money.
On Tuesday and Wednesday, pack them in. I like it because I like basketball. Hopefully it does more for those mid-major teams or low mid-major teams that are on the bubble and get some enthusiasm with
So
them.
you actually think then they'll reach down and invite teams that may not otherwise have
That's what
made
they're
it?
supposed to be. That's the
I think
intent.
they're gonna reach sideways and bring in some more named teams.
That's the intent.
What do you think, Reggie?
I think it's one of the worst moves the NCAA has ever
And
made.
why?
Period.
Because you know what? When you take a look at the play-in games, they're horrible games in the first place.
No, it could be. Could
They
be.
are fringe
Could mean
teams.
more
okay,
black
hold-
schools.
I-
get
I-
in.
Doesn't matter. They
I-
are fringe teams that have no business being there in the first
The
place.
black
Are
teams
these-
won 2
are
games.
they-
I don't care
hold on a
whether they're
second.
black,
Hold up.
Chinese, or
Are these
green.
going to be play-in games, or these going to be a part of the number of play-in games will remain the same, and these are teams that will be in the main cluster, or no?
No, these are teams that essentially will be playing play-in games on Tuesday and Tuesday.
So how
and
many
Wednesday.
teams are there total, including play-in games right now?
They're not calling it play-in teams, but there's going to be a total of 76 teams.
76.
Okay, and right now the main is it 64
64 plus 4 plus
plus
2
the 12?
play-in games.
Okay,
Yeah, okay.
explain this to me. How can some of these teams that don't make the dance have better than 800% of their games? They won most of their games. and then you have teams that are barely 500.
It's the
to get in there.
programs, man. It's the
Well,
revenue.
and
It's
that's-
So if
the
they win their,
following.
that's
if they
the
win
point
their
I'm making.
division, they win their tournament, that
That's-
kind of thing.
Well, that's the point I'm making. It'll be sideways enlisting into the NCAA tournament instead of going down into the lower ranks.
They
All right,
make the
well, look,
schedules,
we,
too.
we reached our time to go. We'll be right back after this.
Here's the wake up call with Reverend Horace Sheffield. Rise up, wake up, let the truth be told. The wake up call.
Hello, everybody. This is your girl, Erica Alexander, and every Saturday morning I get my wake-up call with Reverend Sheffield. Make sure you go on and get some of that. All right? What is that? Is that someone called? Is it Saturday?
Every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 101.5 FM or 1500 a.m. The Wake Up Call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your man Mike Epps, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Sheffield. Make sure you get yours.
I'm Hester Wheeler, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield.
Every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 101.5 FM or 1500 a.m. The Wake Up Call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
This is Super Bowl champion Lomas Brown, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield, my man.
This is Grover in Kansas, and I get my wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 101.5 FM or 1500 a.m. The Wake Up Call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's your girl, Randy Rosario, comedian and TV host. I get my Saturday wake-up call with my guy, Reverend Horace Sheffield. Think about it. Good day.
I'm Sheriff Raphael Washington, Wayne County, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up every Saturday morning from Reverend Horace Sheffield, and you should too.
Every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 101.5 FM or 1500 a.m. The Wake Up Call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your man Mike Epps, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Sheffield. Make sure you get yours.
I'm Hester Wheeler, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield.
Every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 101.5 FM or 1500 a.m. The Wake Up Call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
You've been listening to
Here's the wake up call with
going
Reverend
down.
Horace Sheffield. Rise up, wake up.
I hear me.
Let the truth be
I like
told.
to hear
The
what's
wake up
going on. I can't hear it. I want to hear it. Are we on the air? All right, good. I'd be great if I could hear the come in or the come up or the come out. Having a great show. Y'all make some noise out there. I want to invite you to come if you've never been here every Saturday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. It's the wake up call on the corner of Grand River. We have biscuits, grits, and salmon croquettes. Breakfast absolutely free. Great information, great opportunity to connect with some folks, not just gripe about things, not just be bitter about things, but come and learn how you can change things. Speaking of change, we have a formidable council member who I think we had a lot to do with helping them win and beat the other person so bad they decided they wouldn't even run for the spot they had. Denzel McCampbell, council person from District Number 7.
Good morning.
How you doing, Doc?
Going well. How are you, bro?
So is it what you thought it would be?
Everything and more.
Okay.
Yeah.
In what way?
Well, It's been very busy. We hit the ground running with the team, but also a lot to learn. We've learned a lot about the processes. There's one thing to see. We see all the headlines of things that happen at city council, but there's so much that happens before that. And yeah, we have a great team and just learning.
It's procedural muddle. You got to go through all of these different things, and the charter, I'm sure you're learning, which enables you to be able to know whether you can do certain things. But if there was one thing in particular, issue related or ordinance related, what would that be? You think that you really, because I see your name, I read, where you're working on this and you're working on what's the one thing that you really have latched onto?
One thing that is coming out that I really didn't have an eye on before, well, we knew about it, but as I'm the chair of the Budget, Finance, and Audit Committee, and we get reports that are called the Revenue Estimating Conference reports. That happens twice a year. That gives us a view of how much money we'll have for our budget. But also in that report was the breakdown of incomes in the city.
Right.
And one thing that we knew about, but really to see the stark contrast is that we have high-paying jobs here in the city of Detroit.
Right.
It's just our people are not getting those jobs.
Right.
And what
the jobs are going to the other people.
Yeah.
Right. But if they work in Detroit, they still pay a minimum income tax.
They do pay a minimum income tax, but for me, the issue is not how do we reverse that?
I got you. Yeah. I mean, if they're living here and they're making good money, they're spending money here, they're owning homes here, paying property taxes here. The 2% or whatever it is in city income tax is negligible compared to the real money that will come if they were residents.
Absolutely. And to reverse that trend, it's going to take a lot. I think it's education, training, opportunities, but also making sure when we are having folks stand up businesses here, come to the city, that they have a commitment to hire Detroiters. So, and I know the administration is looking at this now. So being partners and how do we reverse that trend is something that I am really interested in.
Well, see, I grew up, and Ed and I grew up when residency was required.
Absolutely.
I worked in the Arch administration when that was negotiated away for the continuation of revenue sharing. So I'm very, very much aware of that. But anyway, Chantel.
Yes, so you're having monthly meetings all over the district, and your one in April was right here at Dabo. What were your takeaways from that meeting?
Absolutely. And thank you again for you all for hosting our monthly meeting here. A lot of stuff that's residents brought up were one around code enforcement. And that's something that we worked on in the budget, is not only getting more resources into BC, which is the department that is over our code enforcement, especially around houses and buildings and upkeep, but also the education piece of making sure that folks know that you have to keep your grass cut at a certain lift, right? A lot of folks come in and talk about leaving the garbage cans out. And we got to make sure that our folks know that is the code, that you have to keep it up. And if not, if folks don't follow that, they will get fined. So I don't want folks to get fined. I want our neighborhoods to look clean and be beautiful. So making sure that education is out there. We also had a lot of issues come up around not only code enforcement, but DWSD, mid-block lighting as well. So our next monthly meeting will be actually virtual, and we're going to have representatives from the Department of Public Works to talk about the sidewalk repair program, but also to talk about the mid-block lighting program as well.
So what is our caller number? 313-340-9507, 340-9507. Couple quick things I want to just jump in real quick. One is we've had a substantial problem with homes being broken into here, allegedly by folks from A1 Plumbing, who resell old water heaters, washers, and dryers. We had 2 furnaces stolen from our house and the kitchen stuff that we finally had to put someone in. We just bought another house last week that we have somebody in there because they broke in there and stole the new hot water heater. We have video of this. And so Chantel's been charged with having talked with the police, want you involved, having a community meeting here where everybody can come and say what they know with the owners of A1 Plumbing. Just put that on your radar because we definitely want to stop that leak.
Yes. And that was a similar situation when we had around the scrap metal yard.
Yes.
Right? Like folks stealing cars, stealing the Cadillac converters,
Yeah.
and it was to crack down on the scrap yards
Yeah.
to kind of stem.
Well,
some of
this
that off.
area over here has gone through an amazing amount of theft that allegedly the neighbors can attribute to that one place.
Yeah, they see them outside on the sidewalk. being
And
sold
let me
from
tell
their
you how
house.
bad it is. My wife, when stuff actually went in there to look for our stuff, and it didn't go too well. You know, I don't know if you know my wife. She's ready to fight. But let me get to the next point that I think is really important for me, having owned a comedy club downtown, having owned these properties and going through, and Jennifer can substantiate this. I don't think there's equitable code enforcement. I think that certain people are given a pass, and then people like me, I had to spend $8,000 for an issue on bricks on the front of my building, you know, and other stuff, signage, you know. I mean, just like every other week now, I'm getting stuff that we, you know, and we get an annual inspection. I have a certificate of occupancy out there in the hall. It's like, okay, I had to get in touch with some people. Like these people or this person is about to be on my roof. But when I talk to other folks, and I'm just saying, I don't think it's always equitable, my brother. I think that
It's not.
big business and people with money, you know, they don't get the same scrutiny that we're now getting. And I'm gonna say this and be done. There are people who believe it's almost designed to disparage us from continuing or to move us out so they can move in.
And you know, that is something that I definitely engage me in my office on, because that is what we're talking to BC about. You have residents that call in and say that there is a business, right, that has constantly disrespected the community, has trash out, and is not upkeep, but they don't see any accountability happening for them.
Right.
But then I get calls from residents to say, I'm actually trying to fix up my home, and I'm getting more and more tickets while I'm working on my
Right.
home. On public health and safety, I'm the vice chair. We have the dangerous buildings hearings, which is if your home is about to be demolished or set to be demolished, you still have the right to go through a dangerous building hearing and say, I want to save my home. But we're constantly seeing homes there that may have a broken window just on the top floor, or it went through a fire and they're trying to fix it up.
Well, that's not hard to figure out there.
But the thing
because
is,
people want to go around here and see every house over here being worked on. People want to live here.
exactly. But my thing is that as you talk about the unequal enforcement, why are we going hard on folks that are trying to fix up their homes?
Yeah.
But the folks who are actually disrespecting people,
Or
don't get
people
that.
like me that have bought several homes that were abandoned and have people living in them, not getting a dime of public money to fix them. By the way, some fool was on Charlie the Duff saying that I'm using a public library for a nightclub, which we purchased with cash. You know what I'm saying? But it seems to me what I'm saying is that those of us who are doing these things
Absolutely.
ought to be treated. And I got one last issue if I can. And I've said this to Mayor Mary, or my daughter. When you go to Chicago, one of the reasons streets like Finkel and Puritan, Livernois look different in those towns is because they changed zoning. Those are all zoned commercial. So you have two-story buildings that were once party stores or whatever that are now being turned into residential. I mean, I think we need to look at whether or not some of these properties could be converted to residential. I'd buy a two-story building on Grand River in a heartbeat and turn it into a house.
So I completely agree. And we are having conversations around zoning, and also as we're thinking about the corridor work that's rolling out. What I've talked about is that with Mayor Sheffield's vision to build 1,000 infill homes, is we can actually connect those two and say, if we're doing work here on Grand River in Wyoming, we can do the commercial corridor, have those mixed use. Maybe you have a business on the bottom, a small grocery store or something, like they do with Aldi, and then you have residential on top.
Yeah, I think the whole thing should be. We can have that conversation. I think the whole thing should be residential.
I'm down for that as well.
Put a spiral staircase in it, and you live up and down. They do it in Chicago. A friend of mine bought an old storefront, and it's absolutely fabulous.
I think what we have to do, and this is also what I am a strong advocate for, is that in each neighborhood, what we need is going to look different, right?
Yes.
And what I want to make sure is, as we're doing the master plan and doing the plan, is that we are neighborhood specific,
Right.
And saying that
Yeah.
it could be right here,
Yeah.
all residential, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And on across the street is mixed
We're
use,
all
right?
commercial, yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
So that's what I want to make sure, because we know our needs are.
And I know you'll involve people in
Oh,
that
absolutely.
conversation, which
Yes.
is the most important thing. Ed?
Well, my concern about the neighborhoods are grocery stores.
Absolutely.
What is the path can we get to get grocery stores to reinvest in our communities? Because if you've got good dietary support,
Yeah.
then everything else.
And I'll
kind of comes
I'll
into
give a
place.
shout out to my good friend at Grand Price.
Right.
They are building another one on Joy Road as we speak. I don't know if you're familiar with that. They're three brothers. They own Joy Road and as Joy Road in Wyoming. They have another one down the street, but that one on Grand River is a first class grocery
It's
store.
been there for 100 years.
Yes, I mean, and so I know the family. Have you met them?
I have not.
I need to connect you. They're really good. They support what we do here. But that's a good question. I mean, how do we really get the kind of necessary retail?
Absolutely. I think it is a mix of a couple of different things. One is making sure we are investing in the businesses that are already there in our neighborhoods that are currently doing it, right? And weeding out the ones that aren't doing what they're supposed to do. What I mean by that, if you have spoiled meat and things like that, making sure that we have inspectors there. But also the city has the Green Grocers program that actually invests in our smaller markets to get them even more shelf space in their building or expansion if they would like to. And then on top of that is being more aggressive to get more retail in our district. And that's something that both I have the goal to have, but I also know the administration has as well. So as we're planning out the economic development in our neighborhoods, thinking about Grand River in Wyoming, thinking about down in Aviation, also over in Warrendale, Cody Rouge, and north in Bethune, is how do we actually plan out and be aggressive in attracting, like whether it be an Aldi, whether it be, we have Meyer, but even the smaller grocers as well. And the last thing I'll say is that we need to also explore a lot of our small grocers are priced out of distribution. And folks like Meyer and Kroger get deals on food.
Yeah, because of bulk.
Exactly. And the smallers don't. So that means the price goes up. So
Yeah.
what I am in a preliminary thought of, how do we leverage the city to actually get more of that distribution for our small businesses that want to expand grocery in our neighborhoods as well.
That's great.
And so real quickly, I noticed that the mayor announces HOPE, which is really tax foreclosure prevention.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to let people know that we still do that. Brenda Harris has passed, but Deborah Anderson still does that on a regular basis. There are tons of folks who are losing properties who don't have to, because you don't really have to pay taxes, but you have to apply for that property tax exemption. It's been expanded. I think it's 2 years now. It was 1 year. I know that's something that the former council president put in place.
Yep.
So
313-491-0003. You could call 313-491-0003 and set an appointment with Miss Anderson.
and there's a gradation. I just want people to know that if you're not specifically within that income, then there's a variant. They will reduce it based on what your income is. You don't have to be completely nestled neatly within that amount of money that you can and cannot make.
And please do, I will reiterate, please do sign up for the HOPE program, because you never know. We want to make sure that folks are paying the amount of taxes that they should be paying. So if you qualify for the HOPE program, sign up for it. The other thing, and I tell folks this all the time, we'll come back around to tax time for property taxes. It'll be very soon. It happens very quickly, but you all get the assessment notice in the mail that talks about how much your home is worth, and this is the amount of taxes. I think that comes maybe in January. It's a yellow form, right? There is a way that you can appeal your property assessment. And if you have not done that in the last 5 years, make sure you do appeal it, because what happens is that we want to make sure that the assessment is correct. And there's a formal border review process, but there's also the assessor's process that you can just write in and say, I don't think this doesn't look right, or, I had a garage that was torn down at one point. Can you come out and reassess? And they'll do
It
so.
works. It works
does.
because
Absolutely.
a house I bought in University District. The house next to me when I bought it was vacant. Actually was overtaken by raccoons you could see in the window. So my property tax, and the good thing is once it reduces, the heavy amendment is still in place. They can only raise your taxes a certain percentage per year. So, we help with that as well. I mean, Mary Brazelton, who is still our financial secretary, was part of the, the Board of Assessors, and we'll help you do that. But you go down and if you think your taxes are too high, go and and one thing we also do, and I don't run in my mouth, is that they're buying a house, my son, and like I'm saying, don't go based on the taxes of somebody who's owned a house for 50 years, because that's not what your bill is going to be. Your bill is going to be based on what that property was purchased for and the assessment in those areas.
The uncapped.
Yep, Chantel?
Yeah, so you've really hit the ground running when it comes to programs for people in your district. You just had a baby shower that I heard was really great. You took the seniors to the zoo, which I'm sure was really fun. What has inspired you to do that type of work, and what have the results been?
For me, is I look at public service as service, right? It is one thing to be downtown at the council table and advocating for policies and such, which we absolutely do. But I also feel that in the role of government, our folks also have to feel their city government on a day-to-day basis. I can work on ordinances and budgets that will come in a couple of months and a couple of, and maybe even years if it's work on an ordinance, but folks are in need of things right now, and being able to partner with community organizations like Dabo, with the baby showers, with the NIA Purpose for Life, and of course with the Detroit Zoo, is that added level of making sure that we're serving people. So that we're going to push for even more of that. I can't talk enough about the team that we have. Is just thinking about constantly like we should do this, or we contact with this person. Let's get these resources out. So more to come for
and
sure.
Speaking of your team, I want to shout out. I hit up Denzel about a young lady. She's pregnant. She has a young child, and she's losing housing in the next month. I hit up Denzel about it. His team had 2 people calling me within 30 minutes, and they found this lady tons of resources and are helping her currently. So that's the type of city council member we have right now.
Thank you. He's our councilman.
Yes.
Thank you.
And we got some stuff in the game, and we don't have to worry about him watching his dog and not being our dog in the fight.
Right.
What I want to talk about, because I didn't know this early on, but we have some similarities. I am a founding member of what was called DSOC, Detroit Democratic Social Organizing Committee of America, founded by Michael Harrington, who was one of my mentors. I worked with Mike personally, and I only bring it up because his seminal work called The Other America, people should go read that. We also created the Democratic Socialist Agenda, which was really almost mainstream in the Democratic Party back in the 80s. I chaired the youth division that was founded by me. I went all over the country. I had a major for jobs and freedom, whatever it was, rally at Belle Isle with Mike Harrington, who came and spoke. I still have the flyers for that.
Yeah.
So, I just think it's important for people to understand, because I have a theme: it's our money, spend it on us. We're looking at all this stuff that this man is doing with respect to making certain that we don't expect anything from government, but yet everything they get comes from government.
Absolutely.
Just talk about how that worldview, that and basically, so people understand, they try to make it sound like it's a terrible thing. But if you go to the book of Acts, the day of Pentecost, 3,000 people joined, and the Bible says they all got what they had and brought it to give to one another. So the notion that somehow or another we share our stuff is basically the principle of democratic socialism.
Yes, and we talked about this while the campaign was going on. Opponents tried to use it as something to try to attack me with.
Right.
And when we talked about it, I come from the standpoint that I feel that folks should have adequate housing, that no one should go hungry, that our children have what they need, that our seniors are taken care of and able to age in place, right? And that our government should be in service of our people and not folks that already have enough and are at the top and billionaires that are taken from, right? And you're absolutely right. What we're seeing in Washington, D.C. is that they're saying that we don't have enough money for healthcare, that we don't have enough money for housing, but we have enough money for war
$1
and
billion
bombs
for an addition.
and a ballroom, right?
Mhm.
And I just have the view that no, we all pay taxes to the system, and our taxes should be used to improve our quality of life.
So I have a theme, by the way. By the way, Trump has gone so far with gold leafing and stuff in the White House that they said the next thing he's about to do is gold plate his nuts. You know, hello somebody. I said it.
Don't nobody want those.
I said it. Yeah, but that's what he thinks he'll go. I have a simple theme.
Yes.
And I'm working on really doing something with this. And it resonates. And I had Congressman Murphy, right, Gerald? Congressman Chris Murphy on from Connecticut. Senator Chris Murphy on. And he was like, actually followed up with me. My theme is our money, spend it on us. Really, we're contributing taxes. It's the revenue that we put into the general coffers. And yet when it comes to everyday working class people, they tell us do the best you can on your own. But other folks get tons of our money who don't even need our money and then don't pay taxes on the money they make from our money.
Exactly.
So it's our money spending on us. You have a question?
Yes, I have a question. I've been very ignorant on the prison system and how people are making buku money off of people who are incarcerated. The bond issue I just found out about recently. Do we have a program to help men and women when they are released from jail or prison to help pay their bond issue? Because I know a father right now, every weekend he spends time with his children. He's paying child support and he's living in a shelter. And bonds are just so high. Is there any kind of program that helped them?
There are a few organizations that come to mind that may have that support and assistance. So we can connect after and I can get more information.
Give out your phone number for your office. We have about 30 seconds left.
So folks can contact our office at 313-224-2151. Again, that's 313-224-2151.
We're down with Denzel in the D. We'll be right back after this.
You've been listening to
Here's the wake up call with Reverend Horace Sheffield. Rise up, wake up, let the truth be told. The wake up call.
This is your girl, Erica Alexander, and every Saturday morning I get my wake-up call with Reverend Sheffield. Make sure you go on and get some of that. All right? What is that? Is that someone called? Is it Saturday?
Every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 101.5 FM or 1500 a.m. The Wake Up Call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
Can you go get Tim Grimmel? Let's go. My segment is started.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's your girl, Randy Rosario, comedian and TV host. I get my Saturday wake-up call with my guy, Reverend Horace Sheffield. Think about it. Good day.
I'm Sheriff Raphael Washington, Wayne County, and I get my Saturday morning wake up every Saturday morning from Reverend Horace Sheffield, and you should too.
Every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 101.5 FM or 1500 a.m. The Wake Up Call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
Hello, everybody. This is your girl, Erica Alexander, and every Saturday morning I get my wake-up call with Reverend Sheffield. Make sure you go on and get some of that. All right? What is that? Is that someone called? Is it Saturday?
Every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 101.5 FM or 1500 a.m. The Wake Up Call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
This is Super Bowl champion Lomas Brown, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield, my man.
This is Grover Kings, and I get my wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 101.5 FM or 1500 a.m. The Wake-Up Call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
You've been listening to
Here's the wake-up call with Reverend Horace Sheffield. Rise up.
All right, where my people up? Y'all get up.
Let the truth be told. The wake-up.
Where my rockers at? Come on, Tim. Tim, you got to come up here.
It's the wake-up call with Reverend Horace Sheffield.
Y'all going to have to get up every time we play this. Y'all stand up.
The wake-up call.
Hey.
Reverend Horace Sheffield. Rise up.
All right. Bring me down slowly. All right, in the future, y'all don't get no breakfast if you don't get up and dance. Sitting there eating my food, sitting there telling me, right. All right. By the way, we heard Lomas Brown promoting our show on his the commercial we did. You know, Lomas has been sick. And we want to keep praying for him. He's had off and on battles. And, you know, these are not minor tests. He's had some major challenges to his health. So we want to be praying for him. All right. I'll let Chantel, the political operative, topography transformer, introduce our guest.
Yes, so we have former state representative, and he's currently running for
Former mayor of Pontiac too, right?
That's right.
Put all that in there.
I know that's right. Former mayor of Pontiac. He's running in the 10th congressional district, which right now is open seats.
Now let's do that again because you know we're not always there. He's running for Congress.
Yes. He's running for Congress in the 10th congressional district.
People don't always understand
we have
that.
Tim Grimmel. You are a candidate right now, and why the seat is
open
is
right?
because John James, who currently has that seat, is running for governor in Michigan. So you have the opportunity to run, and you're a Democrat, correct?
That's right.
That's what we like to hear over here. So I got to make sure
That's the only thing we want to hear.
That's the only thing we want to hear over here. So you've already been a state representative. You've already been a mayor. What has inspired you to run for Congress?
Well, first of all, good morning, Reverend Sheffield. Good morning, Chantel. Good morning, everyone. It is an honor to be with all of you. Really appreciate this opportunity. Thank you for your great leadership, not just in the city of Detroit, Reverend Sheffield, but in the entire region and state. And I'm running for Congress.
Don't leave out country.
And country, exactly.
I'm just messing with you. Let me just say before you go any further, we go a long way back. And one thing that we have to say, when he wins, we'll have a person who actually will be in the legislative body, not absent. The person you're running to replace had one of the worst attendance records in the U.S. Congress. And I don't understand why people want to have a seat but don't sit in it. So we want to let you know that we appreciate that. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, not at all. But to answer your question, Chantel, I'm running really for two reasons. The first and biggest reason is that we have seen, and this is not a new problem. This has been the case for many, many decades, maybe longer in this country. But we see now more than ever at any point in my lifetime, at least, that the rich are getting richer and everyone else has fallen further and further behind. And we see everyday people consistently being left behind. I have spent my entire adult life fighting for everyday people. I did it as a civil rights attorney and as a union side labor lawyer. I did it as a state house member and specifically as the state house Democratic leader. I successfully fought to expand Medicaid coverage in this state to provide health insurance to 700,000 uninsured Michiganders. I successfully fought to index our state's minimum wage to inflation so that even though it's not where it needs to be, our minimum wage will at least keep up with increasing costs. And we need that kind of leadership in Washington, D.C. We see Trump running roughshod over everyday people. He's concerned about billionaires and billionaires only. And I have always stood up and been willing to go toe to toe against billionaires and their right wing allies. And we need fighters in Congress now more than ever who will stand up against Trump, stand up against billionaires, and stand for everyday people. And I'm going to go there and I'm going to fight. But more importantly than just fighting, we've got to actually deliver results and get things done that will improve the lives of regular folks.
Well, I'm going to help you with something with that theme of everyday people. Go get Sly and the Family Stones, everyday people. And do something that we'll come over here and cut it. We'll be all behind you.
I am everyday people.
Yeah, we want the white one, but don't like the black one, you know. Ed's an everyday person, but he's special on Saturdays.
Now, I've got a real question for you as far as I'm concerned. And that is, once you're in that seat, how much are you going to be a person for what's right as opposed to a person that's following the party?
Yes.
Because as far as I'm concerned right now, the Democratic Party is doing a lot of kowtowing to the Republican Party. They're not ready to fight. It's time to fight. Now, are you going to be a fighter?
Absolutely. And that's a really important point because I've never been somebody who goes along to get along, who just is going to be there and be about the party. I'm somebody who's going to fight for people, fight to move this country forward, fight to build a stronger middle class, and fight to make sure that everybody has a real shot at the American dream. And unfortunately, we see that both parties, not just the Republicans, but the Democrats have often fallen down on the job when it comes to delivering for folks. And I'm not going to be beholden to party. I'm not going to be beholden to special interest groups. I'm going to be beholden to one thing and one thing only, and that's my constituents and the American people, and making sure that we're standing up for those who are struggling to pay their bills, struggling in this environment where we see this cost of living skyrocketing, those who are struggling because their wages are stagnating. I'm going to be a voice that's going to be dedicated to them and them alone.
And that's what I'm alluding to, because I come from a generation where a one-income household could survive beyond work and into retirement and still be able to be comfortable.
Yep.
You know, something got to be done about that, because the wealth disparity has gotten too extreme. We got to find out a way, or figure out a way.
Well, I think it starts with who we're there for, right?
Right.
If we're there for everyday working class Americans, and that's, you know, what we're there to represent, then it's different. I think that's the problem. People go there for different reasons, have different folks that they, you know, represent. But I want you to do two things. One is describe your district so people know where it is, and then right from the jump, how do people help you?
Yeah, well, great question. So this is a district that is mostly in Macomb County. It includes some parts of Oakland County as well. And so it starts really at 8 Mile in Macomb County, and then goes north basically to Hall Road, to M59. It also includes Clinton Town, all of Clinton Township. It includes a little part of Macomb Township. It includes all of Shelby Township. And it includes Rochester and Rochester
Warren,
Hills.
Michigan as well.
Warren is there.
Okay.
East Point is there.
Yeah.
Centerline, Roseville, goes all the way over to St. Clair Shores along the lake. It includes Mount Clemens, Sterling Heights, Harrison Township. So those are really the major cities.
Yeah, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, you can correct me, the population in African American population in Macomb County now is around 18%.
It is.
Yeah.
It's really been increasing.
With the most increase in Clinton Township, by the way.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And it's great to see that, by the way. It's great to see Macomb County diversifying. You know, obviously, you know, people have their perceptions of Macomb County, but it's actually,
they voted for Wallace.
Well, I mean, there is that.
There's a whole stigma of
There is that
Macomb
history,
County
and there-
Democrats, right?
Yeah, but that's changed a lot.
It should. That's why I'm pointing out, and that's why, you know, Kyle Malinga came within, you know, a handful of votes. You know, and of course that's not the case now, because we really have a great opportunity to flip this district. This is going to be a district that the National Party, which should have helped before, we could have flipped it then, is going to be focused on, right?
You nailed it, Reverend, as usual. And, you know, if you go back to 2022, The last midterm election, just like this year, the last time it was an open seat, just like this year, Carl Marlinga lost by less than 0.5%. And that's only because he was outspent 8-1.
Yeah.
Because the National Party didn't put a dime into that race.
Yeah. So he decided not to run. I'm just curious.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
That's exactly right.
See, this is where we have to go, right? We have to go with people who, probably think they can do a better job, but, passing, if we could do that in the district over here, where we got all these people running, that make certain that, no Shreve for me is going to win. But I don't want to put you into that. Go ahead, Shanti. I'm just saying is we really got to do a better job of getting in the room and saying we're going to run one good candidate. We don't have that kind of money. Democrats don't, everyday Democrats don't raise that kind of funding, and just really narrow down. Am I right or wrong? Target people and have one good candidate. And let's get behind them. And that's you, by the way. We're going to do a video in a moment. I officially endorse him for Congress. And we're on his team.
And thank you, Reverend. That means the world to me. It really does.
Absolutely. We're gonna flip that district. And I'm gonna ride around Macomb County at night, and I had to worry about getting pulled over.
Yes. So what are the main concerns that you're hearing from voters in your district, and what are you going to do in order to change those things?
Yeah, the issue right now, I mean, there are others, but the biggest issue right now is the cost of living. I mean, we see the cost of everything just spiraling out of control. That includes health insurance. We see the cost of that skyrocketing, and that's a direct result of Trump's terrible policies on health insurance. We see the cost of housing being out of control, whether it's for first-time home buyers or renters. It is incredibly expensive to find decent housing. We see it with our utility bills. We still see it at the grocery store. My family, I don't do the cooking because I don't want people to get food poisoning. But my fiance does
You do
the
the
cooking.
buying.
Yeah, I do the buying. My fiance does the cooking of the chili, but I do the buying. And a pound of hamburger meat is like over $7 a pound now. I mean, it's just absolutely insane. And so
You
that
gotta
is
get some. You get what's that called? Is it helper? Something helper?
Hamburger
Hamburger. Get some hamburger helper.
Well, the biggest hamburger helper we can have right now is bringing down the cost.
The biggest help we can have is to put you in Congress. But let's back up a quick second because I heard you say your fiance.
Yes.
I just assumed you were married.
No, not yet.
Okay. Is she ready for this?
Are you ready for this?
No. Let me just tell you something. Even with what I do, my wife has to share me with everybody. Right? I mean, and I'm blessed to have a wife that understands that I'm called and lets me go where I need to go and do what I do. I mean, it's just so much a part of who we are that our families have to also, buy into this.
Yeah, that is very real, Reverend, as you know, and as your family knows. And the short answer is yes. I mean, she and I have been together now for about 5 years.
And you're not married her yet?
Now you
Let me
sound-
tell you what the
now you
Bible
sound-
says.
now you
The
sound
Bible
like
says
her,
it's better
Reverend.
to marry than burn. Put them away quickly.
But yeah,
By the
we
way,
would-
just for you at non-taxpayers' expense,
Yeah.
I'll be happy to do the wedding.
Well, we've been engaged now for a couple months. She's seen what this
outstanding.
life entails, of course, and she is ready.
I just want to let you know that there has to be somewhere that you can go to retreat from all the madness.
Exactly.
I've been on this thing,
Yes.
Chantel would tell you, and just bear with me for a moment. I'm as absolutely outdone with the viciousness with which people go after folks, social media, I mean, they would swear that Mother Teresa was a prostitute and that Jesus was her pimp. I mean, that's how far these people go. There's nobody decent. There's no one who's genuine. And so anybody who steps up, and I'm not even running for public office, I get it all the time, I mean, I look at this stuff, I said, wait a minute, that don't sound like me. But anybody who put themselves as you do and are out there for other people to form opinions of you need to have a private space in place that you can go to with somebody who affirms you and builds you back up.
Yes.
Just want to keep you in the loop
Right.
on that, right, Ed?
Exactly.
Now don't do like Ed, because Ed has several that do it.
Hold it. But you neglected that I was married for almost 30 years.
I
before
know,
my wife
Ed.
passed.
I know that,
All
Ed.
right?
I know that,
So
Ed.
you have to have a good partner. And I mean partner, not somebody to follow you or to lead you, but a partner.
So I want you to be married to two things then, really, when you do to her. But I think it's just wonderful to let people know that your primary purpose is to be wedded to the folks who need you in the district, without whom there'd be no voice.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Chantel? Go ahead.
But I just want to acknowledge what you're saying, because
Right.
it's important. And my fiance Imani is a caring woman. She's a loving woman. She's a woman of faith. She's somebody who is my sanctuary. And so
Right.
when I go home at the end of the
There
day,
you
I
go.
know that I am in a safe place with a loving
Yeah,
person. And she
sanctuary.
means the world to me.
Sanctuary. Perfect term.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm gonna tell you something, man. They're gonna. I don't know how people do it. I tell my daughter. I told her before she even became mayor. You got to be prepared for this. On your best day, Tim, half the people will love you and half will still hate you.
Yep.
And the next day they'll flip. The ones who hated you today love you tomorrow. Love you today will hate you.
I've seen that.
Yeah, Chantel.
It's Ed's turn.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ed's up.
Now, if elected, and we're saying that you're going to be elected,
Amen.
what's going to be your number one priority?
Well, it's really about improving the economic opportunities of regular folks. Like I said, I mean, that is the number one priority. Now, how do we do that?
Yeah.
It's really three things. It's in terms of my very top three priorities. First of all, we got to get these tariffs under control, because they're jacking up the price of living for everybody. And it's one thing to target bad actors in the world with tariffs, but we got a guy in office who's putting tariffs on Canada, putting tariffs on other countries, and all it's doing is putting a tax on those who can least afford it by increasing prices. So that's number one. Number two, we need universal health care in this nation.
Absolutely.
We need to make sure that everybody who wants to participate in a public, affordable, comprehensive health insurance option can do so. And that's something that I have always believed and will fight tooth and nail for. And third, we've got to make it easier for organized labor and unions to organize more workers, because we know that unions have been a force for good in this country. We know that they have been in the trenches fighting to make sure that we're expanding economic opportunity for all. And we need to make sure that they're representing more folks. And similar to that, we've got to increase the federal minimum wage to at least $18 an hour. And we've got to index it to inflation.
Can you
so it
tell
keeps
everybody
up.
what it is?
What is it now?
$7.25.
Wow.
Oh, it's insane.
Yeah. $7.25.
Well, speaking of which, Chantel and I, we've not done it, but we're going to do it. Right out at Metropolitan Airport, they're one of the lowest paid wheelchair attendants in the country. They were making $8 an hour, and then had to subtract their tips. You go to Florida, it's 20. So anyway, that's a big issue, and it's one that needs to be addressed. Yes, I mean, in terms of living wage.
Yes.
Yes. Chantel?
Yeah, a living wage is really crazy, but there are also other factors, like you were talking about tariffs, we're talking about living wages, but there's also a lot of people who feel like they don't have job opportunities and job training and everything. And Macomb County is which is a lot of your district, has plants and factories, but a lot of this work is getting replaced by AI.
Yep.
And unions are very concerned about that. So what have you been thinking about combating that?
Yeah, well, we've got to make sure that, to the extent that AI expands in scope, the more people share in the benefits of AI. Because right now what we see is, as artificial intelligence, as automation continues to increase, that it's just the very top 1% or less that are actually benefiting from that. And we've got to make sure that we're helping train people who can actually utilize AI, that we're putting some common sense provisions in place so that as AI comes into fold, workers are protected, consumers are protected, that we're making sure that more Americans are lifted up by AI rather than displaced by AI.
Yeah. Well, recently, and I was trying to think, I read so much stuff, I can't always put my finger on it. But in the last week or so, AI went askance in some corporation and actually did something that was very destructive and damaging. And then when they went to I guess to have a conversation with whatever the programming is for the AI. AI basically laughed and said, "Yeah, I did it."
Yeah, they deleted their whole database.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I'm concerned, you know. I mean, I would love AI to, come to my house and be a better husband, but I don't want AI to be the one to cheat on her either. You know what I mean? Are you concerned about AI? I guess is my question. I mean, what guardrails would you like to see?
Well, I think everybody's concerned about AI. I don't think the solution is saying we're going to ban AI. I think the solution is how do we manage AI to make sure that it's a force for good, that as it drives economic growth, more Americans benefit from that economic growth.
Well, you know what? How about creating programs or classes for people to learn more about it? Not how to develop and how to maintain.
We've done that here. We've actually had a seminar on that. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, no, I think you hit the nail on the head, and it's why I say we've got to make sure that more people are trained and educated about how to work with AI, and so that employers say, look, AI is not actually best utilized when it comes to getting rid of workers. It's best utilized side by side with workers so that workers actually have higher productivity. But I think if you look at where the real potential benefits of AI are, it's actually working with employees, not getting rid of employees, but supplementing the work of employees to make them more productive. And that's the direction we've got to go in.
So are you familiar with in the big, beautiful bill, there is a provision for the expansion of rural health.
Yes.
And I've had the occasion this week to speak with Elizabeth Hertel and Jocelyn Benson and others about how that will pan out. I think the state of Michigan will get $5 billion over the next 5 years to be able to expand access to health. You have any ideas on that at all? Or?
Well, there's a lot we can do there.
Okay.
I think one of the areas that we don't, as a society, talk enough about is mental health. And I think Michigan has a long ways to go to really provide affordable access to quality mental health care. And so I'd like to see the federal government and states partner more to, yes, invest in healthcare overall. And I talked about the need for a comprehensive public health insurance option that every American can participate in. But we also need to make sure that mental health is an integral part of that.
Yeah. But Tim, let me just interrupt and go into Chantel. How do we do that? For example, our organization had 6 SAMHSA grants, some of which were in that area because we do mental health first aid, suicide prevention. I'm on the launch of the suicide prevention hotline that SAMHSA rolled out 4 years ago. So when they're cutting everything, 4 of my 6 SAMHSA grants have been cut. This administration is continuously taking money away from things, and it's a joke because you want to spend $1 billion that you said you had covered, but yet we can cut all of these programs that you're saying. How do we change that?
Well, budgets are really expressions of values and priorities.
Absolutely.
And so, if the federal government can afford to spend over $25 billion on a war in just a couple months, it can afford to invest in our own people here at home.
Agreed.
And that's
it's our money. It's our money. My same theme is our money. Spend it on us.
Exactly. And to your point about the cutting of grants, hopefully the state will use some of this $5 billion to kind of backfill that. But the federal government shouldn't be cutting those grants in the first place.
But the state's money's been cut. We get money from Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. Some of the funds that passed through have been cut. I just want you to put that on your radar.
Yes.
I think when the strategic prevention framework money was cut overnight, within 24 hours, the people in rural America and folks who were attendant to even MAGA, rose up and the monies were restored. But I just think there needs to be more conversation about whether you're Republican or Democrat, pro-Trump or not, that these dollars provide great services to American citizens.
Yes, and it should be a nonpartisan issue. It
No
shouldn't matter if
question.
you're an R or a D or anything else.
Yeah.
It's about helping out those who desperately need that help.
No
period.
question. Chantel?
Well, campaigns do not just run off of conversations like this. You know, they're very, very important, but people have to support your campaign to keep it going. And then also, some people think November, but your first election is on August 4th. You know, it's the primary. So, can you tell people how they can support your campaign, where they can learn more, what donating to a campaign means, and when they can vote for you?
Yeah, we are very responsible with any campaign contributions we get. It all really goes to communicating directly with voters, making sure that voters know what I stand for, what my track record is, and then I will be a fighter for them in Congress who will actually deliver and get things done. And obviously, we welcome contributions in any amount. It could be $5, it could be $1. We welcome that. But even more valuable, really priceless, is people's time as volunteers. And so we welcome both resources, time and money. And if people are interested in helping out, they can go to our website, which is timgreimel.com. It's TIMGREIMEL. They can also send us an email at tim@timgreimel.com. They can call us at 248-963-5146. And we welcome people getting involved in whatever way that they're comfortable doing. And we've got lots of different volunteer opportunities. It could mean making phone calls. It could mean going door to door. It could mean showing up at events. So we've got something for everybody, no matter what their abilities, no matter what their interests.
As the candidate, this is something I work on campaigns. So I want to ask you, what's your favorite? Or what's your least favorite too? I want to know which one. So between events, doors, and phones, what rank those from 1 to 3? 1 being the best, 3 being the worst.
Well, I love doors,
Mhm.
actually. That's my favorite because you're able to have a real one-on-one conversation with folks with real dialogue. You know, I think we live increasingly in like a soundbite world where it's, 10 seconds and there's really no give or take. There's no real conversation. So what I love about doors is the ability to really have a conversation. You can have some of that on phones too, but I really like that in-person interaction. And then, events are fine, but you're often pulled in a lot of different directions. You're not able to have some of those more in-depth conversations, because time's more limited with each person. So that's my perspective.
So we have, we'll give you 2 minutes to kind of just open the doors of the church, for lack of a better word, and be intentional. We have this is a 50,000 watt station. We're on 2 at the same time. And this goes beyond that. So hopefully people will hear you. Most of the folks here probably can't vote for you, but they certainly know folks that live in your district. If there was one thing, before you sum up and give all the info, if there was one thing that at the end of your public service that you'd want Tim to be known for, that people could point to and say, I didn't always agree with him, but when it came to this, he was always truthful and fruitful.
Well, that's easy. I have always tried throughout my life, whether it was as a civil rights attorney or an elected official, to be focused on one thing, and that's making sure that every American, no matter what their background, their zip code, their race, their class, their gender, has had a real opportunity to achieve the American dream, and that they've been treated with the dignity and respect that they deserve as humans. And that's what I would most want to be known for. Somebody who was there for the right reasons, who wasn't there for the title, but was actually there to get things done and deliver and expand opportunity for everybody.
Okay. And so now, first of all, give us the information where they can contact you. We need people to donate. We need people to volunteer. All that information first, and then I want you to just spend a minute convincing folks to run to the polls right now and vote for you.
Yeah, well, again, the contact information, timgreimel.com. That's TIMGREIMEL.com, or tim@timgreimel.com if you want to email us.
That's the email address.
Yeah, the phone number, 248-963-5146.
One more time with the phone number,
248-963-5146.
Okay.
And I would just say that This is a pivotal moment in our country's history. This is a moment of great peril. We see what Trump's doing in terms of his siding with billionaires against everybody else. We see what he's doing in terms of attacking civil rights, in terms of attacking all constitutional rights, attacking the very fabric of our democracy and due process. And this is not a time to roll the dice with somebody who doesn't have any experience fighting for you.
Yeah.
And you don't have to take my word for being a fighter.
Yeah.
You don't have to guess what I'm going to do. I have a proven track record of 25 years as an attorney, as an elected official, of fighting for you, fighting for everyday folks. And you know that I will continue to do that in Congress and that I will deliver.
Tim's going to do what he's already done. And we need him there because after a while, Trump's going to come after a wake-up call. They're censoring everything else. Be right back after this.
You've been listening to
Here's the wake up call with Reverend Horace Sheffield. Rise up, wake up, let the truth be told. The wake up call. It's the wake up call with Reverend Horace Sheffield. Rise up, wake up, let the truth be told. The wake up call. Reverend Horace Sheffield. Rise up, wake up, let the truth be
Hello, everybody. This is your girl, Erica Alexander, and every Saturday morning, I get my wake-up call with Reverend Sheffield. Make sure you go on and get some of that. All right? What is that? Is that someone called? Is it Saturday?
Every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 101.5 FM or 1500 a.m. The Wake Up Call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your man Mike Epps, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Sheffield. Make sure you get yours.
I'm Hester Wheeler, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield.
Every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 101.5 FM or 1500 a.m. The Wake Up Call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
This is Super Bowl champion Lomas Brown, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield, my man.
This is Groveland Kings, and I get my wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 101.5 FM or 1500 a.m. The Wake Up Call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's your girl, Randy Rosario, comedian and TV host. I get my Saturday wake-up call with my guy, Reverend Horace Sheffield. Think about it. Good day.
I'm Sheriff Raphael Washington, Wayne County, and I get my Saturday morning wake up every Saturday morning from Reverend Horace Sheffield, and you should too.
Every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 101.5 FM or 1500 a.m. The Wake Up Call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
You've been listening to
Here's the wake up call with Reverend Horace Sheffield. Rise up, wake up, let the truth be told. The wake
All right, y'all make us. Where y'all at? Stand up and earn that breakfast. Get up, Cedric. All right. There you go. Look at her. All right. There we go. We're glad to be here, glad to be alive, and good to be seen and not viewed. How about that? All right. Your mic's not on.
No, my mic.
Now it is on
Now
now.
it's on.
Introduce our guest. Oh, it's Brother Thompson, co-founder, CEO of Black Leaders Detroit. Welcome to the show, Doc.
Thanks for having me. Glad
You
to
got
be
a
here.
great platform, man. You do great work. We've tried to join forces here and make certain that people know all the ways in which you help people.
Appreciate
Tell us
that.
all about Black Leaders Detroit.
Yeah, I think for one, I want to, for those that might be confused with you, introduce me as Brother Thompson. So, and I know that's my name on Facebook.
Well, that's what he
But,
told me. I was
yeah,
going to do
no
your
wor-
real name, but
no-
go ahead.
No worries. So it's the story is my parents were 15 and 16 when they had me, so they weren't married yet. So I had my mother's name at birth, which is Dandridge, and I went to school under Thompson my whole life, assuming that was my name. But my parents never went through the actual process of changing my name. So anybody that went to school with me, they know me as Thompson, but my actual name is DeJuan Dandridge.
Yeah.
So it's
Okay.
all
Well,
good.
my son has a similar story. At birth,
Okay.
he was Lindsey Clark Sheffield.
Okay.
Until my grandmother and daddy got outraged that I didn't give him the name Horace.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And so yeah. Anyway, I understand that. You know, we appreciate that. You know, disclosure and bringing us up to date. But tell us all about Black Leaders Detroit, man.
Yeah, so Black Leaders Detroit is a nonprofit that operates right here in the city, and we pretty much exist to create equal access to capital for entrepreneurs of African descent. So we deploy money to business owners and nonprofit leaders that are doing amazing work here in the city, and what that looks like is grants and no interest loans. So far, we've deployed over $7 million directly to some businesses that we've all frequented and some nonprofits that are doing amazing work here in the city.
Wonderful. Did you come to bring us a check?
It's in the works.
In the works.
It's in the works.
I
It's
appreciate
in the
that,
works.
man. But you know, you and we'll open it to the rest. You, I think, although you have a great cast of characters and folks who augment the work you do, are really the face of this, right? People, when they see you, you know, before I knew your name, that's what I identified with. How's that going for you? I mean, you know, just like me saying, did you bring a check? I mean, are people primarily just approaching you now because they think you have dollars?
I mean, that happens, right?
Yeah.
But it comes with the territory.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I want there to come a point in time when, I have a check every time you see me.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And we working to make that
By the way, I
happen.
don't mean to interrupt you, man. That's a great top you got on,
Thank
man.
you.
You know,
Appreciate that.
I mean, that's like the guru of the universe there,
Thank
right
you.
there. Yeah.
Thank you. I
Ed?
appreciate it.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the information you have on you about the no interest loans for businesses, because it's been quite a few years, but I brought up something similar to that with my own family.
Yeah.
You know, our own family can create our own bank.
Yeah.
We all contribute, those who can, to the bank, and then we would make loans to those that are needy within our own family ranks.
That you do better with grants to family members.
But
go
no,
ahead.
but you understand what I'm saying? It sounds like the same
Yeah.
kind of format.
Right. Well, it's a collaborative endeavor,
Yeah.
a community chest, you know,
Right.
and that's what we need to do as Black people in general.
Period.
We have enough money, right, my brother, that we can fund our own stuff.
No doubt about
Yeah.
it. We funded everybody else.
Right.
Like
Right.
everybody else.
And we
has
wear
gotten
their
rich
names
off
on
that.
everybody's names
Well, you
on
know,
their
you know what I
clothes.
call that, and I got this from Billy Paul, who has a great song you'll listen called "Let the Dollar Circulate."
Yeah.
He said he was just trying to teach our dollars some sense.
That's it. But
Yeah.
but to the point that you made, and
Yeah.
Ed as well, right? Like I get to be the face of the work, but what Ed talked about with the family, right? If we think about Motown, right? Like Berry Gordy started with a loan that was created
Family
from a
loan.
family pot,
Yeah.
right? So it's when I brought the idea to some friends, I don't take credit for it being an original idea.
Right.
I think it's really what we've talked about all my life. If I heard it in the barbershop or at the dinner table, when we talk about all the things that plague our community and all the challenges we have, somebody would inevitably say, we'd be all right if we just come together.
Mhm.
Right. And that's
Mhm.
what this is, right? Like a majority of our funding so far has come from big check writers at foundations across the city that care about the work and got some dynamic people on the inside. But we don't intend to depend on that long term. We intend to do exactly what Ed was saying
Yeah.
and ask everyday people that care to donate $1 a week.
Yeah.
And our goal is
And
to
the
get a million
Congressional
people
Black
making that
Caucus had that plan, and we still have it. Dabo embraced it, and they did the math on it. You know, we all donated $1.
Yeah.
Where we'd be, and I think you and I talked about
We
this
did.
and about how we would need to have the right folks manage that money, because
Exactly.
first thing people gonna say, they see you in a brand new Cadillac, there go my dollar, But we got Ossie Davis says not the rap, it's the map, it's not the man, it's the plan.
Yeah.
But I think we really need to create a community fund. That's what Brenda Rayford had in mind with the Black United Fund.
Yeah.
Never quite got there though. Chantel?
Yes. So before I get into my question, I do want to shout out. This is from Dabo member Michael Harris, whose mother is actually somebody who's so important to Dabo and New Destiny, the Pink Lady, Miss Brenda Harris. This is the Dream Union 32nd Annual Love Party Stop the Violence event. It's on Monday, May 25th at 10 a.m. And there is going to be a prayer breakfast and a kids basketball game as well. And it's going to be right on Dexter and Davison, right at Dexter Davison Park. So want to shout out
All right.
something positive.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah. By
But
the time that boy did something for his mama.
yes. So you do a lot of different positive things. But one of the things that you told me that you do, which I was surprised by and I thought was really interesting, was your Ride for Unity.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so for the last, this is year 6. The bike ride started me riding a bike from Detroit to Mackinac, intentionally doing it the week before the Mackinac Policy Conference. So many Detroiters don't
You
even know
rode
what
a
that
bike
is.
all the way to Mackinac.
Rode a bike from Detroit to Mackinac. So that was us trying
I
to
hope
raise.
you didn't ride through certain neighborhoods at night, but go ahead.
No, I didn't do any night riding. But I will say this to that point, to the point you're making. What I found is there's so many people in different parts of the state that I'd never been in, that I was a little bit paranoid riding through, that we were very welcome there. But that bike ride went from Detroit to Mackinac for 4 years straight. Last year, we took that bike ride from Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma to Wall Street in New York. So 1,640 plus miles was the bike ride. And that was us trying to say, hey, we have something that's working in Detroit, and we're ready to share that blueprint with other cities that may have similar challenges.
Go ahead, Ed.
Yeah. And you saying bike ride? See, most people when they say bike ride, we talk about motorcycles. You pedal?
No, we're talking about a
Pedaling.
bike, man.
Oh man, I have to give kudos to you and your crew because I had problems trying to ride around the block. I'll be honest with you. But anyway, how do you face that challenge of people trying to say that the monies ain't going where they're supposed to be going? Because I know you constantly got a thing, because we as Black people, we inherently don't trust each other with nothing. And so it's got to be a big concern of yours. And how do you deal with it?
Yeah, so I'm the same way. I don't trust people either, right? So we don't ask people to trust us. Me and Reverend Sheffield talked about this. We invite people to watch us, right? Like we don't think that we should be trusting. There's been way too many people came in with empty promises and looking to figure out a way to shoot a move. And we know that, like, historically, like, empty promises, we like to haze people in Detroit. You know what I mean? Like, you can come in saying all this, but we're going to test you and see if you're true to what you're saying. So we invite people to do us and treat us the same exact way. Keep your eye on us, because if we are who we say we are, we're going to do what we say we're going to do. And if we're not, we should get caught, right?
Yeah.
So we don't ask people to trust us. We invite people to watch us.
Well, Detroit had a saying back in the day. I don't know if they still use it. And that's what your mouth say.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
So prove to me by your actions rather than your words. Yeah. Because anything can come out of your mouth, but your heart is going to remain true.
That's it. That's it. So if you look at our track record, like I said, we got $7 million deployed directly to over 900 entrepreneurs.
Wait, hold on. Say that number again.
Right. Over $7 million deployed.
That deserves a hand clap, everybody.
That's right. And better think about getting you a bicycle.
Yeah, but we've supported over 900 entrepreneurs. Collectively, those entrepreneurs are responsible for over 2,700 jobs. So those are 2,700 jobs, employees, most of them held by Detroiters that we've been supporting.
Yes.
So I just want people again to know how difficult this is, right? And I think it's important because people, they get sidetracked by the difficulties. I mean, nothing worth having comes easy.
That's it.
So we have about a minute and a half. What are some of the main things you had to overcome to get where you are?
So most currently it's the political climate, right? Like Black Leaders Detroit is not a name that is easy to carry and work under right now. So we've had so many lawyers and conversations with lawyers about, are we in compliance with what is accepted and allowed? And there's been pressure. We've been asked to change the name of the organization.
That sounds like some of that Trump.
Well, we've been through that.
Yeah. So what we share with our big check writers who have to make sure that they're mitigating risk with their legal team is that we're going to be strategic, but we also going to remain strong, proud, and Black, right? So they have to make a decision on if they're going to continue to fund us or not, because we're not going to deviate from that.
Well, that's a good thing. You know, there are certain organizations which, you know, I mean, and by the way, it's never enough, because if you didn't pay attention last week, Trump said, even if you've scrubbed your organization, but you have a history of diversity, equity, inclusion, we still not gonna fund you.
Yeah.
So you can change your name to whatever, but if you still Black, get back. We'll be right back after this.
You've been listening to
Here's the wake up call with Reverend Horace Sheffield. Rise up, wake up, let the truth be told. The wake up call.
This is Super Bowl champion Lomas Brown, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield, my man.
This is Grover in Kansas, and I get my wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 101.5 FM or 1500 a.m. The wake-up call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's your girl, Randy Rosario, comedian and TV host. I get my Saturday wake-up call with my guy, Reverend Horace Sheffield. Think about it. Good day.
I'm Sheriff Raphael Washington, Wayne County, and I get my Saturday morning wake up every Saturday morning from Reverend Horace Sheffield, and you should too.
Every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 101.5 FM or 1500 a.m. The wake-up call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
Hello, everybody. This is your girl, Erica Alexander, and every Saturday morning, I get my wake-up call with Reverend Sheffield. Make sure you go on and get some of that. All right? What is that? Is that someone called? Is it Saturday?
Every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 101.5 FM or 1500 a.m. The wake-up call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your man Mike Epps, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Sheffield. Make sure you get yours.
I'm Hester Wheeler, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield.
Every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 101.5 FM or 1500 a.m. The wake-up call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
This is Super Bowl champion Lomas Brown, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield, my man.
This is Grover in Kansas, and I get my wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 101.5 FM or 1500 a.m. The wake-up call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's your girl, Randy Rosario, comedian and TV host. I get my Saturday wake-up call with my guy, Reverend Horace Sheffield. Think about it. Good day.
I'm Sheriff Raphael Washington, Wayne County, and I get my Saturday morning wake up every Saturday morning from Reverend Horace Sheffield, and you should too.
Every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 101.5 FM or 1500 a.m. The wake-up call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
You've been listening to
Here's the wake up call with Reverend Horace Sheffield. Rise up, wake up, let the truth be told. The wake up call.
Yes, we're back, and it is sharp Chantel Watkins, and I'm here, of course, with my uncle Ed, and we're here with Brother Thompson, who's been we've been having a great conversation. He is the CEO of Black Leaders Detroit, and we kind of went fast past it, but you said something that I'm gonna steal for Dabo. It's gonna be called Triple D, Detroit Dabo Dollar, getting people to donate $1. So when you talk about community investment like that, what would people donating that $1 a week grant Black Leaders Detroit to do?
I mean, if we got to 1 million people, which is the goal, to make that commitment, we would not have some of the issues that we have, right? So we are able to only do so much, right? Like our no interest loan, we have two products. One caps at 25K, and that's pretty much for any industry. But then we have another product that we call the building fund, right? So which we stole from all the church collections that we've all put money into. But the building fund is a no interest loan that caps at $150,000, and it's for real estate investors doing single family up to 4 unit fix and flips in the city of Detroit. So people that you know that are out there buying land bank homes, renovating them and selling them or either renting them out, we got a no interest loan for them because we know that there's been so many people investing in real estate in Detroit, and so many of them come from outside of Detroit and are making decent money here. We just want to make sure that the folks that have been here, that kept the lights on, that never left, are able to participate in some of what's happening in Detroit and benefit from it financially. So we would be able to put a lot more dollars into that. We had $5 million in open applications in 7 days when we opened up the application.
Wow.
Right now, we don't have enough money to meet all of the demand. So if we got more people to put money into the pot, we would have a much bigger pot. So a lot more Detroiters would be able to benefit from it.
Yeah. So how can people donate that $1?
Thank you for asking. This is my favorite question. You can go to blackleadersdetroit.org, right? And you can hit join now, and it'll give you the option to donate $1 a week, $4 a month, or $52 a year. And then there's a other button, which is my favorite. If you want to give a lot more, you can click on that one. But that we try to make it very simple. And you're talking about stealing the idea. I don't think it's the Dewan's original idea. Again, I was fortunate enough to attend the Million Man March in 1995.
Amen.
And there was a moment when we were all asked, 1.2 million brothers standing outside, worshiping and loving each other and atoning. We were asked to go in our pockets and pull out $1. And if you had more, pull out more. But $1 is what we were asked to do. And you got 1.2 million brothers holding $1 in the air. And what was said while we were holding $1 in the air is something I'll never forget. He said, this is what they fear. Us coming together collectively with our economics. Because if we did that, we solve our own problems.
Amen.
Right? And that's what we're looking to do. Right?
You know what? You really hit one of my pet peeves, and that is we as a people spend more money on entertainment and fashion than we spend on ourselves. Because just be real. If those dollars went to something positive as far as developing our communities, we'd be on the top of the hill. Period.
I agree.
Without a doubt. Because just the numbers, you're talking about $1 a week, 52 weeks in a year. 500,000 people contributing 52. We talk about $5 million.
That's it. I mean, it's real simple. Now, I'll say this, Brother Ed. I don't know if you're gonna ever be able to get us to stop spending money on fashion. Black folks and flyness is like,
it's a synonym.
But that's why for us we keep it simple, right? Like you can be fly and just donate $1 a
but
week.
We are the ones that keep the economy going because we're the ones spending.
I agree.
Everybody else is invested in making money off our money.
I agree.
That's being real, and that's why they really don't want us to organize with communities like Rosewood, Black Wall Street, the Black Bottom here in Detroit, because if we keep our dollars within our communities, we'll have something.
So
we'll have generational wealth.
To that point, I mentioned earlier the bike ride going from Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma to Wall Street, New York. I'd like to share now that we're actually sharing our blueprint with Black Wall Street right now. So I've been working with the mayor and his team down in Tulsa to show them how we do our grants and no interest loans so they can mimic it there and bring about a reparations plan for some of the people that were damaged due due to the traumatic experience that was the Black Wall Street massacre.
Well, a lot of people don't know that that's the only community or peoples in the United States that were bombed by airplane on our land.
Yeah.
They were the first.
They were the first.
They weren't the only. It happened
Well,
in, it happened in
not
Philadelphia as well.
Well, that was the mayor and the fire bombs on the move people.
Yep. So we do have an audience question. We have it from the Hallelujah Man himself,
Yes.
Brother
Thank
Cedric.
you. Thank you. Can y'all
Deacon
hear me?
Cedric. Yes.
First of all, bless you and your effort that you're doing
I receive
so
it.
far
Appreciate it.
as uplifting the city and bringing unity. And going back to what Ed said about us buying black. I remember in the 70s and 80s, we would buy black within our community. But we've been through some hard times. We've been through some economic times. We've been through some times, crack academic, COVID academic, everything straight. But the number one key is how pleasant it is for us to drill together in unity. Well, I want to ask you, I'm a representative of Integrate 3103. And what we do, we support returning citizens. We help them with jobs, resource housing. But I see what you're doing is any way possible. After the show, I want to get with you so we can network with you, aid and assist you, and take it to another level for you and your organization and everything you do for the city. Is that appropriate?
Yeah, you talking about you want to help? Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
100%.
one more thing. Just
Come
for
on
the
now,
listeners,
Cedric.
just for the listeners out there, I think it would be appropriate on the 20th. We're gonna have another walk, a mile. It's gonna be on the east side. So if you need information, go to Cedric Tooks Facebook, and you have all the information you need. Thank you so much.
Thank
All
you,
y'all,
Deacon
hallelujah.
All right.
Yes, and I want to also say I just donated my $52 for the year
Thank
to
you.
Black
Bless
Leaders
you for being
Detroit.
our
So I
newest
need
member.
yes,
Yes.
everybody, you gotta, all the people that we have up here are so important, and we definitely want to support everybody. So say again for us, because we only have a couple of minutes left, how everyone can get involved with Black Leaders Detroit. What's the main things you guys are doing in order to keep the Black dollar circulating right here in Detroit, and how we can all get involved with that?
Please follow us on all social media. If you're on social media, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, because we always update people and let them know when money is coming out, but also when we have big initiatives, and we always need community support, right? But that donating that dollar is the best way to tap in with us. That's the best way to support the work. I can't stress enough, like that $7 million could easily be 20 million if we had more people donating, right? Like I just said, 900 entrepreneurs have been supported. There's no reason why we couldn't have supported a lot more. There are people that closed their businesses unnecessarily because they just didn't have to have the support after COVID, right? And we were hoping that somebody would come and treat us right this go around, right? Well, it don't make sense for us to keep hoping, right? We can create our own thing, to Brother Ed's point, right? And that's what we've done at Black Leaders Detroit. And we just welcome anybody that believes in fairness, Black, white, or other, right, to join us, because we've created fairness for Black entrepreneurs here in the city.
Definitely, Ed.
Well, and I'm gonna say kudos to what you're doing, and hopefully we can get the kind of support that you need. And you're always open to support, or we need to support our own. Period. You know, we go out and, like I said before, alluded to before, we buy a name and not so much concerned about quality. Just buy some quality stuff made by our own. How about that?
That's it.
Instead of sending our money over to Europe and other places that are not here. But these companies they're not here.
I agree.
So we're sending our monies across seas, so they're not sending us anything back.
That's right.
Let's get something back for our dollars.
That's right.
Yeah, so you said 900 entrepreneurs. So can you tell us a little bit about some of the business, because that's a lot of different types of businesses.
Yeah.
What are some of the businesses that you've supported?
I mean, you can almost run off the name of some of your favorite Black-owned businesses
I know
we
that's
most
right.
likely have supported them. I think if you're talking close proximity, you shoot up to 6 Mile, you got a Skin Bar 7, right? Like we've supported them. Hot Sam's, right? Who does not know who Hot Sam's is? If you run down Livernois, you can go to 313, right? The Trap Vegan, right? Like you go to
my favorite
to the
place.
Boulevard and then Cooking with Q, right?
Nice.
So yeah, we've been kind of like all over the city. If you name a Black-owned business, then there's a good chance that we've encountered with them in some way. But I also don't want to forget about the nonprofit leaders, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you have white-led nonprofits that come to Detroit and they raise so much money and so much momentum.
Facts.
Right. But you have some dynamic people. Oftentimes we're practitioners, right? We created a movement because we overcame a thing and we want to teach people how to do that. So there are nonprofit leaders out here that are drastically underfunded, but overperforming because we can do so much with so little.
Mm-hmm. So this was a great conversation with Brother Thompson. He is the CEO of Black Leaders Detroit. You have been listening to the Wake Up Call. We had another wonderful show. And my name is Chantel Watkins, and we're out for the day.
And as always,
You've been
Detroit,
listening
we
to-
love you.
Here's the wake up call with Reverend Horace Sheffield. Rise up, wake up, let the truth be told. The wake up call.